Stocks, docks and barrels. This morning's Big Business Recap.
Yes, big business recap, and we have business development happening from the United Kingdom. British authorities are exploring the possibility of creating a new digital currency that Treasury Chief Rishi Sunak touted as Britcoin. Britcoin, huh? See what he did there?
Yeah.
So the Bank of England and the Treasury said that Monday they will work together to assess the benefits of a central bank digital currency at a time when cash payments are generally on the decline, as we see, partly as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. But the bank said that the new currency, if it comes to pass, it would be a new form of digital money for use by households and businesses, and it would exist alongside cash and bank deposits rather than replacing them. So this is the plan.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Now, apart from the fact that most of the ministers are looking at blocking the new European Super League, we're looking at a potential idea of having a Britcoin. One of the big benefits of having a digital currency would be as a backup to card payments if cash payments continue to drop in the years to come by the end of this decade. And speaking of cash payments, next we'll talk about how one country has always been used to cash payments, but now is considering a card payment option as well. But before that, only 1 in 10 payments in the UK are expected to be made with traditional paper money. Proponents of digital currency also think they can provide another way for people to make purchases online. Currently, only Bahamas has such a currency, though China is trialing in its several cities. Sweden has indicated it could have its own digital currency by the year 2026, while the European Central Bank has indicated an electronic euro might be created within 4 years. To what extent is that going to be different to Bitcoin is clear, because Bitcoin is a digital currency, yes, but it's not used as transactions. It's still used as a stored value. It's still used as a place where people not only dump their cash or save the cash, as they would like to say, or aim to double and triple their assets through buying a certain amount of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is also mined. Bitcoin has no governance. It doesn't have a central bank of its own. It's nothing as central. So Bitcoin is quite tricky. But having a digital currency that is solely focused on easier payments is understandable. But if there's no lucrative offers by saying, look, you put this much now, maybe in 3 years' time or 3 months' time, we might be valued at this much. That aspect is not going to be there, because it will still remain pegged, or it appears it might be similar to the value of the British pound, for example.
Yeah, definitely. Central banks in general, they've definitely witnessed how cryptocurrencies received growing interest from mainstream financial institutions, and Bitcoin in particular hit a record high of nearly $65,000 on April 14th. That's up tenfold in the space of a year. But going back to the new British task force, it's part of a series of measures that Treasury Chief Sunak hopes will help the UK's financial technology sector. He said during a meeting, he said that our vision is for a more open, greener, and more technologically advanced financial services sector. And if we can capture the extraordinary potential of technology, will cement the UK's position as the world's preeminent financial center. That's what he's saying. And then he said, Britcoin? As in, like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, look, this Bank of England-backed digital version of the sterling would potentially allow businesses and consumers hold accounts directly with the bank and to sidestep others when making payments, upending the lender's role in the financial system. So it makes sense. And after that big meeting, Sunak tweeted the single word Britcoin in reply to the Finance Ministry's announcement of the task force. They have not decided when to introduce a a digital currency like that, but they will be looking at the task force will be looking at how well they can cope with it. Looking at the price of Bitcoin so far today, this morning, one Bitcoin is valued at $54,912. And that's where it stands for the time being. And of course, the digital currency in the digital space continues to be the go-to spot for most of the young investors who want to double or triple their assets in a quick succession. So we'll certainly look into that, into how the currency began its use in 2009 and still is around, with a huge jump and a spike in its value. Well, stay with us on the morning Majlis. What we'll do now is we'll let you soak in a bit of Alicia Keys this morning, and then we've got a traffic update to help you keep moving throughout the day, and then we'll quickly move on to Iraq, where they are now looking at card payments as a main option, because so far, Rania Saudi, was it all cash payments in Iraq?
It's basically all cash payments in Iraq.
Cash,
so this is music to my ears and all the Iraqis that live in Iraq right now. Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to that discussion here on the Morning Majlis, so do stay tuned. This is the Morning Majlis on Pulse 95.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
It's all about humanitarian initiatives, because the Arada Foundation has announced the launch of a Ramadan initiative that will see 4,000 boxes of healthy, fresh produce picked straight from Emirati farms distributed to local families in partnership with the UAE Ministry of Climate Change and Environment. And this program is being managed by Manbat, the farmers market based at Al Jada mega project here in the Emirate of Sharjah. So this initiative, it will be spread over a 20-day period during the holy month of Ramadan. It begins on the 6th day of Ramadan. It already began on the 18th of April. And the produce, it will be selected from farms all around the UAE that have been inspected by the UAE Ministry of Climate Change and Environment in order to ensure full health and safety compliance as well.
Yeah, it's all about giving the opportunities for the farmers, isn't it? And this Ramadan initiative serves several important goals. His Excellency Sheikh Sultan bin Ahmed Al Qasimi, chairman of Arada, said the idea is to support different parts of the local community to help promote the quality and nutritional value of the food that is being produced right here in the United Arab Emirates. They're saying that they're proud to see this partnership with the Ministry of Climate Change and Environment continue to flourish, and that they will continue to work with them to develop further initiative to support the goals in the near future. Included inside each Manbat box will be a wide range of best Emirati produce, with 16 ingredients in total. These include fruit, vegetables, herbs, honey and dates. Each box will also contain a Manbat apron and oven glove. And the campaign marks the first official program of the Arada Foundation. This is incredible.
It's incredible what they're really doing. And so basically during the holy month, since we're talking about Manbat, the Manbat Farmers Market, it will take place at night with timings between 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. every Friday and Saturday evening at Al Jada. So it's on those 2 days, Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, it's such a great place to go down and really check out the farmers, the local produce that is out there, organic produce. Another Ramadan initiative that we would like to highlight is what Sharjah Islamic Bank is doing. They've launched the Ramadan Community Initiative. It's the second year in a row, and this will include distribution of 4,000 food baskets to needy families in cooperation with the Sharjah Charity International as part of their efforts to enhance the values of solidarity and cohesion amongst all members of the society. The head of corporate communications, Hassan Al-Balghoni at SIB, stated that the initiative comes within the framework of the bank's endeavor to keep its operations and community initiatives in line with the development imposed by the current exceptional circumstances of the COVID-19 pandemic. They'll be distributing the Ramadan Mir boxes, which will include basic food and consumer needs that families should desire during the blessed month of Ramadan, such as rice, sugar, salt, oil, flour, milk, wheats, lentils, and other cooking materials. Well, stay with us on the Morning Majlis. There's lots to get through this morning. Up next, we're going to be talking about how India has been added to the red list by the United Kingdom and how the COVID-19 situation is faring in a huge market when it comes to aviation and when it comes to economic ties as well. Stay with us. This is the Morning Majlis only on Pulse 95.
Stay fit. Stay fit. Stay fit.
Staying fit with the European Super League, as well as what's looking at is they've been given a £3.5 billion grant by JP Morgan, as it is looking at financing the new breakaway competition, a competition 12 of Europe's leading football clubs have come together called the Super League, and it is going to be governed by its founding clubs. Now, what is going to happen is that there is going to be a Super League of 20 teams, and they're going to be the elite teams that do not need to qualify for this tournament, and it's going to give more of a chance for these big guns to play against each other.
I'm looking at Real Madrid, and their president Perez yesterday, or actually today, has hit back at threats by the UEFA that clubs will be thrown out of the Champions League for joining a breakaway European Super League. And yesterday's bombshell announcement by the 12 of Europe's most powerful clubs that they plan to launch a new competition to rival UEFA's a lucrative European Cup was met by fierce criticism from leagues, players, supporters, and even political leaders as well. So 6 Premier League teams, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City, and Tottenham, joined forces with Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid, and the Italian trio Juventus, Inter Milan, and AC Milan, said they intended to launch the breakaway league in August or as soon as is practicable. And financed by U.S. bank JP Morgan, each of the clubs from England, Italy, and Spain will receive a welcome bonus of up to 300 million euros.
Wow.
So the new league hopes to persuade 3 more founding members to join, and for 5 other clubs to be invited annually, though Perez claimed PSG have not been invited.
Wow. Sports bodies say they will remain united in trying to stop the breakaway league using legal and sporting measures. UEFA's president has warned the clubs would be banned from all other competitions at domestic and international level. And the players would also be prevented from representing their national teams at the World Cup. And Prime Minister Boris Johnson is also going to look at everything that we can do with the football authorities to make sure that this league does not go ahead. So what happens next is it'll be interesting to see if Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund and Paris SG decide to join it. And the ESL is trying to block any sanctions UEFA or FIFA may try to enforce over the formation of the league. And FIFA has also expressed its disapproval. So only time will tell where we go with this. It's a bit of a messy situation at the moment. First game is expected to be in August, but I don't know what's going to happen next, really. Well, what's going to happen next is that the Morning Majlis will be heading off, and we shall be back again bright and early tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. to keep you entertained and motivated. So till then, do text us on 4215, take part in the riddle, represent Team Majlis listeners, and win those 500 dirhams courtesy of Pulse 95 Radio. And if you'd like to catch up with our podcast, where can they do that?
You can do that if you haven't listened to us actually or watched us on YouTube by typing in Pulse 95 Radio and looking for the Morning Majlis playlist. You can still do so as an audio conversation. We'll be uploading the conversations on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud right after the program. So thank you for listening in to us, joining us, for taking part in the riddle. We will push your names to afternoon or evening karak, in fact. We'll push your names for the people who have texted in the morning with the right answer. We'll definitely do the wasta, as Abdul Karim said, and push your names. And hopefully you will be the winner of the 500 dirhams for today's riddle. And if you didn't win for today's riddle, you can still try again tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. All the weekdays throughout the month of Ramadan, there's going to be a riddle and a chance to win 500 dirhams.
That's true indeed. Well, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be back again tomorrow morning. You are listening to the Morning Majlis only on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of the Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse.